And we're back, and you're listening to the Metal Magdalene with Jet, and tonight is our Chicago Domination Fest Pre-Fest special, featuring music from the fest as well as a few little interviews with some of the bands. And right now we have with us one of those bands. I have Blue, the guitarist from Dysentery. Welcome to the show, Blue.
Oh, what's up, Jet, and thanks for having me. It's nice to do this.
Well, you know, it's nice having you on this freaking hottest day of the year so far here in New England.
It's definitely heating up for us Northeasterners, definitely.
So, Blue, for people that don't know, tell us a little history behind the band.
Well, Dysentery was a band formed in 2002 in the greater Boston area. We, play a style brutal death metal. Most people commonly know it as, slam metal, slam death, whatever, brutal slamming death metal, all of that stuff. Like I said, we've been around since 2002. We've put out a split CD and 3 full lengths so far, and we're currently in the middle of, supporting our most recent full length Fragments on Comatose Music.
So tell us, what's the lineup of the band now?
The lineup currently is myself on guitar, Eric Toronto on drums, who has been in the band for about a decade now. Me and him are basically the old guys in the band. We have Greg Mann on bass, who we've had for probably about 4 years now. And our newest member is our vocalist, Scott, who joined us about 2 years ago. And both Greg and Scott, their first releases with us were our most recent full-length in 2015, Fragments.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about Fragments.
Well, Fragments is, like I said, it's the third full-length we've released, our second with Comatose Music, our long-running label now. It's definitely the album as most bands are usually the most proud of their newest releases, we're definitely very proud of this new one. It's definitely we've definitely helped cement our style as much as possible. We obviously are a brutal death metal band, but we try to bring in little stylistic elements from beatdown style hardcore and stuff like that. We kind of we try to keep it under the heavy music umbrella, though it's primarily death metal. We like to we definitely draw from different spots, but Fragments is definitely, in our opinion, the best representation of our sound to date.
And, we know you guys got the, of course, the Chicago Domination Festival, but what's your touring schedule like for the year?
Oh, well, actually, for the summer, we're pretty busy. Last week, we actually just got back home from a full East Coast tour with California's Parasitic Ejaculation, the Slam Till You Puke tour. That was started up in New Hampshire in Nashua, and we went all the way down to Florida and back, covering pretty much the whole East Coast. And then next weekend, us and Dehumanized from New York, we go out and we start a West Coast tour, where we start in San Francisco at the Bay Area Death Fest with Suffocation, Disgorge, Internal Bleeding, and a ton more bands. And brings us all around the West Coast for the second half of July. And then to end off July, we hit up Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, and then we hit up Chicago Domination Fest at the end on July 30th with Dehumanized, Malignancy, and so many other ridiculously good bands. And then we got a couple shows lined up for the end of August in the local area because we really haven't been hitting it up. And we're currently finalizing some touring plans for the fall right now, which we haven't set in stone, so there's no reason in really announcing it yet.
So you're going to be pretty freaking busy.
Yeah, we've since the new album came out last year, we have been considerably busy. We've gone all over the U.S. a couple times, both coasts, the South, Midwest. Things have been going pretty well for us with the new album, and we have no interest in stopping. If people are interested in seeing us in new places, we're going to come out and go there. Nice.
So, did you guys ever play the Chicago Domination Fest before?
No, we have not. We've actually never played the Chicago area before.
Wow.
We've had stuff scheduled in the past, but it never worked out. And this is actually our first time, and needless to say, we're completely stoked about having to be a part of such an insanely good bill to play in Chicago for. So,
especially your first time playing there, that's pretty cool.
Exactly. I'm not going to complain about that at all.
Now, are there any particular bands you're looking forward to seeing, or just everybody?
There's a lot of bands, one of the coolest things about getting to play some of these fests around the U.S. is you kind of get like when we're playing in the Northeast, we obviously get a lot of our friends and we get to see a lot of people we know, but getting out to Chicago, getting out to California, Texas, you get to play these fests with so many bands that you never have the opportunity to see. And, like bands like Extremely Rotten, who's playing the same day as us, who I love. We played with them a year ago. I'm looking forward to seeing them again. Deteriorate, which has some of our friends from New Jersey in it. Tons and tons of great bands. Our good friends Malignancy and Dehumanized. I'm looking forward to see Kill Everyone. There's just so many ridiculous bands, and day one is just a stack with Brodequin, Gorgasm, you name it. Every great band in brutal death metal band is pretty much on this fest. So,
are you going to stay for the whole fest?
We unfortunately are playing a show during the first day of the fest in Columbus because we're driving out for it. So we booked a show on the way out, but we'll be there every single moment of the Saturday day, and we'll be soaking it in.
And so how long is your guys' set going to be for this fest, do you know?
I think we're going to have about a half an hour set for the fest. And we usually mix in a lot of stuff from our release. We've got about 14 years of releases under our belt at this point, so we kind of, try to pick something from every release and give something for everybody, regardless of what era they're a fan of ours of.
And so you guys said, what day are you playing?
We are playing on Saturday, July 30th.
All right, so where can people find out more about the band Blue if they want to know, exactly where you're playing, if they want to catch you in other spots around the country?
Well, chances are, I'm sure you can figure out, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dysentery Grind. We always put all of our up-to-date stuff there. You can also find us on twitter.com/Dysentery Grind. And you can also find us on Instagram at Instagram.com/Dysentery Slam. And that's pretty much, if you visit any of those areas, you will find everything you need to know about us.
All right, awesome. Well, Blue, thank you for taking the time out to tell us a little bit about your band and what you have going on, and have fun at the fest.
And thank you very much. Thanks for having me on the show, and support to Metal Messiah Radio.